There is something happening in your body right now that you cannot explain. Listen carefully. You feel tired in a way that sleep cannot fix. You feel restless in a way that food cannot satisfy. You feel a weight on your chest that no doctor can name. And deep down, you have started to wonder. What is wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. Something is happening to you. God is shifting your body before He shifts your life. Hear this clearly. Before He moves your season, He moves your flesh. Before He opens the new door, He closes the old cravings. Before He elevates your assignment, He interrupts your appetite, your sleep, your energy, your peace. You are not sick. You are not lazy. You are not falling apart. You are being prepared. If you are watching this video right now, if something pulled you here in the middle of the night or in the quiet of your morning, then this message is not an accident. This is not random. This is heaven speaking through a screen because you would not listen anywhere else. You are the chosen one. And your body is shifting in the most unexpected ways. You have felt it. That sudden fatigue that comes from nowhere. That strange emptiness in your stomach even after you eat. That tightness in your chest when you pray, like something is breaking loose inside of you. That inability to sleep the way you used to, because your spirit is now more awake than your body wants to be. That loss of appetite for things that once satisfied you, food, noise, people, entertainment, because God is starving you of the old so He can feed you the new. Listen carefully. This is not a curse. This is a calling. Every person God has ever used greatly, He first disturbed physically. Before Daniel received his greatest vision, his body was so overwhelmed that he had no strength left in him. Before Elijah heard the still small voice, his body was so exhausted that he laid down and begged God to let him die. Before Jacob became Israel, God touched his hip and he limped for the rest of his life. Every man and woman God ever raised up carried a physical mark of transformation before the world ever saw the promotion. Your body is not betraying you. Your body is bearing witness to a shift in the spirit realm that your mind has not caught up to yet. God is saying, I am not making you sick. I am making you sensitive. You used to be able to sit in noisy rooms and feel nothing. Now you feel everything. You used to be able to eat anything and feel fine. Now certain foods make your stomach turn because your body is being purified from the inside out. You used to be able to sleep for hours without dreaming. Now you wake up at 3 a.m. for no reason, heart racing, spirit alert, because heaven is trying to speak to you in the hours when the world is silent and your flesh can no longer drown it out. This is not anxiety. This is not exhaustion. This is not just stress. This is awakening. And awakening always feels uncomfortable before it feels powerful. Hear this clearly. Caterpillars do not become butterflies without dissolving first. Inside that cocoon, the caterpillar's body literally breaks down into liquid. It does not gradually grow wings. It dissolves completely before it is rebuilt into something that can fly. If you cut open a cocoon in the middle of the process, you would not find a half caterpillar, half butterfly. You would find something that looks like it is dying. That is what is happening to you right now. You are not becoming a slightly better version of yourself. You are dissolving. You are being unmade so that you can be remade. And that is why your body feels like it does not belong to you anymore. That is why your energy is unpredictable. That is why your emotions rise and fall without warning. That is why you cry over things that never used to move you, and stay numb to things that used to break you. You are in the cocoon. And the cocoon is uncomfortable because the cocoon is holy. Listen carefully. God does not transform lightly. He does not elevate a person who is still comfortable in their old skin. Before He gives you new authority, He strips away old strength. Before He gives you new vision, He blurs your old sight so you stop trusting what you used to see. Before He gives you a new voice, He silences the noise you used to make so you can finally hear what He has been saying the whole time. This is why you feel so alone right now. This is why the people around you do not understand what you are going through. You try to explain it and it comes out wrong. You say, "I don't feel like myself," and they tell you to get more sleep. You say, "Something feels different in my body," and they tell you to see a doctor. And maybe you should see a doctor, because wisdom matters. But some things a doctor cannot explain, because some things were never meant for a hospital. Some things were meant for heaven's eyes only. God is saying, "I am not doing this to hurt you. I'm doing this to prepare the vessel that will carry what I am about to pour." Think about it. You do not pour new wine into an old wineskin. The old wineskin, stiff and inflexible, would burst under the pressure of the new. So before God pours the new anointing, the new favor, the new assignment, He first stretches the wineskin. He softens it. He makes it flexible enough to hold what is coming. That stretching feels like tearing. That softening feels like weakness. But it is not weakness. It is preparation. Your body is the wineskin, and God is stretching you right now for something you cannot yet imagine. Hear this clearly. The enemy knows what is coming before you do. That is why he has been attacking your body. That is why he has been attacking your sleep, your peace, your strength, your appetite. He is not confused about who you are. He knows exactly who you are. He has read the same scroll heaven wrote about your life, and he is terrified of what you become when this shifting is complete. That is why the fatigue hits you the hardest right before your breakthrough. That is why the heaviness increases right before the elevation. That is why the darkest night always comes right before the sunrise you have been praying for. Listen carefully. This is spiritual warfare, and your body is the battlefield. Every ache, every sleepless night, every wave of unexplained emotion is a sign that something invisible is fighting to stop what God has already decided will happen. The enemy cannot stop your destiny. He knows he cannot stop it. So instead he tries to exhaust you before you arrive at it. He tries to make you so tired, so discouraged, so confused about your own body that you give up right before the miracle. Do not give up. God is saying, "I see what they cannot see. I know what you cannot yet explain. Trust the process, even when the process feels like falling apart. You were never meant to walk this stretch of the journey with people who do not understand you. This is the loneliest season of the chosen. This is the part where God removes the noise so you can hear the assignment clearly. This is the part where old friendships fade, where conversations feel empty, where you find yourself pulling away from people you used to feel close to, not because you are cold, but because your spirit has outgrown the old wineskin of those relationships. Hear this clearly. Loneliness is not always punishment. Sometimes loneliness is protection. God removes people from your life the same way a surgeon removes what is diseased from a body. It is not cruelty, it is precision. He is not punishing you by taking away certain people. He is protecting the very thing He is building inside of you. Some people cannot survive the shifting with you. Some people were only assigned to the old version of you, not the one being formed right now in the secret place. Let them go. Let the silence come. Let the isolation do its holy work. Because on the other side of this loneliness is a version of you so transformed, so anointed, so undeniably marked by God, that the very people who left will not recognize you when they see you again. Listen carefully, because this next part matters more than anything I have said so far. Your body is not just shifting physically, it is shifting spiritually. And the physical symptoms are simply the surface of a much deeper transformation. When your chest feels tight during prayer, that is not anxiety. That is your spirit expanding to hold more of God's presence than it has ever carried before. When your stomach turns at food that used to satisfy you, that is not illness. That is your body being weaned off things that dulled your discernment. When you cannot sleep at 3 a.m., that is not insomnia. That is the hour heaven has chosen to speak to you because your flesh is finally quiet enough to listen. God is saying, I am rebuilding the temple, and a temple under construction always looks messy before it looks glorious. Think about Solomon's temple. Before the gold, before the glory, before the presence of God filled the room so thick the priests could not stand to minister, there was noise, there was dust, there was cutting and shaping and stone against stone. No one who walked past that construction site would have believed that one day the glory of God would rest inside those walls. But it did. Because the mess was never the end. The mess was the middle. You are in the middle right now. Do not mistake the middle for the end. Hear this clearly. What you are feeling in your body is the sound of construction, not destruction. Yes, it is uncomfortable. Yes, it is disorienting. Yes, there are days you do not recognize the person looking back at you in the mirror. But that person is not disappearing. That person is being rebuilt into someone who can hold the glory that is coming. Listen carefully. I need you to understand something about divine timing. God does not do anything early, and He does not do anything late. Everything you are feeling right now, He allowed to begin at the exact moment it needed to begin. Not a day sooner, not a day later. He knew the exact hour your body would start to change. He knew the exact week your sleep would become restless. He knew the exact season your appetite would shift, your energy would fluctuate, your emotions would rise and fall like tides you cannot control. None of this caught Him by surprise. He is not scrambling to fix something that went wrong. He is executing a plan that was written before you were born. Psalm 139 says, He knit you together in your mother's womb, and all the days ordained for you were written in His book before one of them came to be. That means this exact season, this exact shifting, this exact discomfort you are walking through right now was already written. It was already known. It was already planned by a Father who loves you too much to let you stay the same. God is saying, this is not punishment, this is precision. He is not punishing you with this discomfort. He is perfecting you through it. There is a difference between suffering that breaks you and suffering that builds you. And the suffering you are walking through right now is the kind that builds. It is refining you the way fire refines gold, not to destroy the gold, but to burn away everything that is not gold, until what remains is pure enough to reflect the face of the one who made it. Hear this clearly. You will not leave this season the same person who entered it. The old appetite will be gone. The old tolerance for toxic relationships will be gone. The old capacity to settle for less than what God promised will be gone. What will remain is a sharper discernment, a deeper hunger for God's presence, a body and spirit finally aligned with the calling that has been on your life since before you can remember. This is the cost of being chosen. It was never going to be comfortable. But it was always going to be worth it. So, if your body feels strange right now, if you cannot explain the shift, if you feel like you are falling apart in ways no one around you understands, hold on. You are not falling apart. You are being formed. And what is being formed in you right now is too holy, too weighty, too eternal to be built any other way. Now hear the second word God is speaking over you, because this one is going to bring you to your knees. Listen carefully. There is a breakthrough coming that your body has been preparing for without your permission. You did not choose this shifting. You did not wake up one morning and decide to feel different. God did this to you, for you, without asking, because some assignments are too important to be left to your own timing. If He had asked you, you would have said, not yet. You would have said, I'm not ready. You would have said, give me a little more time to get comfortable first. But God does not wait for you to feel ready. He prepares you, and then He tells you afterward what the preparation was for. This is why so many of the chosen do not understand what is happening to them until it is already almost complete. God is saying, I moved on your body before I told your mind, because your mind would have talked you out of it. Think about how many times you tried to explain away what you were feeling. You blamed it on stress. You blamed it on a bad diet. You blamed it on not sleeping enough, not exercising enough, not eating clean enough. You searched for 1,000 natural explanations because the spiritual explanation felt too big to believe. Surely God is not doing something this significant just for me. Surely this is not what it feels like to be chosen. But it is. Hear this clearly. Every prophet, every apostle, every person who ever carried weight in the spirit realm went through a season where their body betrayed the comfort of their old life before their mind understood why. Moses felt something shift in him long before the burning bush. David felt something shift in him while he was still tending sheep, long before Samuel ever poured oil on his head. Their bodies knew before their minds accepted it. Their spirits were being stretched before their circumstances ever changed. You are in that same place right now. Your body knows something your mind has not caught up to yet. Listen carefully, because this is where the betrayal comes in, and you already know exactly what I am talking about. Every person walking through a true shifting experiences betrayal at the exact same time. It is not a coincidence. It is a pattern written all throughout Scripture. Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers right before his gift began to unfold. David was betrayed by his closest friend right before he stepped into his throne. Jesus himself was betrayed by one of his own disciples right before the greatest victory in human history took place. Betrayal is not the end of your story. Betrayal is the doorway to your elevation. God is saying, I allowed them to leave because they could not walk where I am taking you. You have felt this. Someone close to you pulled away right when you needed them the most. Someone you trusted said something that cut so deep you still feel it in your chest when you think about it. Someone you thought would be there for the rest of your life disappeared the moment your season started to shift. And it hurt. It still hurts. And I am not going to tell you it doesn't matter because it does. But hear this clearly. That betrayal was not random. It was a divine cleanup. God cannot take you into the fullness of your calling while carrying people who were only ever meant to walk with you through the old season. Some people are seasonal. Some people are assigned only to a chapter, not the whole book. And when the chapter ends, God ends the assignment, even when it breaks your heart to watch them go. Listen carefully. This is the loneliness of the chosen, and it is one of the most misunderstood parts of your journey. You are not lonely because something is wrong with you. You are lonely because you are early. You are ahead of the people around you in a way they cannot see, and you cannot fully explain. You have outgrown conversations that used to fulfill you. You have outgrown environments that used to feel safe. You have outgrown relationships that used to feel like home. And now you stand in a space between who you used to be and who you are becoming, and it feels like no one is standing there with you. God is saying, I am standing there with you. I have never left that space. I am the space. Hear this clearly. Every person God has ever used in a significant way walked through a wilderness season completely alone with Him first. Not because He wanted to punish them, but because intimacy cannot be built in a crowd. He needed them alone so they would learn to recognize His voice above every other voice. He needed them isolated so they would stop looking to people for the validation only He could give. He needed them silent so they would finally hear what He had been trying to say the entire time. This is your wilderness. This is your isolation. This is your holy loneliness. And it will not last forever. Listen carefully, because I need you to understand the sign language of heaven. God speaks in signs before He speaks in fulfillment. Before Noah saw the flood, he saw the pattern of the animals gathering. Before Joseph saw the palace, he saw the dreams of sheaves bowing down. Before you see your breakthrough, you will see small signs, numbers that keep repeating in front of you. Dreams that feel too real to be random, sudden peace in moments that should have caused panic, strangers saying things to you that feel like they were sent directly from heaven. Pay attention to the signs. God is saying, I am not silent. I am speaking in a language you have not fully learned to read yet. The silence you feel from God is not actual silence. It is a season of Him speaking in a frequency your old self could not pick up. That is part of what this bodily shifting is doing. It is tuning your spiritual receiver. It is sharpening your discernment so that when He does speak, you will not miss it. The static you used to live in, the noise, the distraction, the busyness, all of it is being stripped away so that you can finally hear clearly. Hear this clearly, because this next part is the turning point of everything. Transformation always comes before elevation. God will never promote you into a level of authority your character cannot sustain. That is why He does not skip the shifting. That is why He does not skip the wilderness. That is why He does not skip the loneliness, the betrayal, the physical discomfort, the emotional unraveling. All of it is preparing the inner structure that your outer elevation will one day stand on. If He elevated you before this transformation was complete, the weight of the calling would crush you. So He is doing it now, in private, where no one can see, so that when the public elevation comes, you will be able to carry it without breaking. God is saying, I am not being slow, I am being thorough. Listen carefully. Your breakthrough is not being delayed. It is being perfected. Every extra day of waiting is another layer of strength being added to the foundation you will need to stand on the promise. Every sleepless night is another thread being woven into the covering that will protect you once you are elevated. Every tear you have cried in secret is being recorded and remembered by a God who does not waste a single moment of your pain. Hear this clearly. Victory is not coming to erase your suffering. Victory is coming because of your suffering. Every scar you carry from this season will become a testimony that sets someone else free. Every wound you have endured in silence will become a language you speak fluently when God sends broken people to you for healing. Nothing you have walked through has been wasted. Nothing. Listen carefully, because I am about to speak the final word over you. Your body will stop shifting the moment its purpose is complete. The fatigue will lift. The restlessness will settle. The strange hunger and the sudden loss of appetite will balance into a new normal you did not have before. You will look back on this season and understand, finally, why it had to happen exactly the way it did. You will see the pattern. You will see the precision. You will see that every uncomfortable moment was actually a sacred appointment with the hand of God shaping you into someone new. God is saying, what I am building in you cannot be rushed and it cannot be stopped. You are the chosen one. Your body is shifting because your assignment is shifting. Your energy is changing because your capacity is expanding. Your loneliness is deepening because your intimacy with God is deepening. Your old life is dissolving because a new life, one you cannot yet fully imagine, is already being written in the books of heaven with your name on it. Hold on. You are almost there. The breakthrough is closer than it has ever been. If this message touched something inside of you, if you felt your spirit rise up while your body has been falling apart, I need you to do something right now. Comment the word chosen below so heaven knows you received this word and so someone else scrolling past can see it and know they are not alone either. Strengthen your faith today, even in the smallest way, a prayer, a whispered thank you, a decision to trust one more day. Trust God's timing, even when it does not make sense, even when your body feels like it is working against you. Because it is not working against you, it is working for you. And if you want to keep hearing the word God has for the chosen ones of this generation, subscribe, so you never miss the next message heaven sends through this channel. You were chosen before you were shifted. You were shifted so you could be strengthened. And you will be strengthened, so that when the elevation finally comes, you will stand in it as exactly who God always knew you could be. You are the chosen one, and your breakthrough is closer than you think.